We've quoted just one line of his in Tales from the Hood. I mean, in perpetuity since we've basically known each other.
Yes. Guilt has been beating me to shame, has been beating me to death. Well, guilt? What's that? And then the old lady turns around and she said, I'm your guilt. Yeah.
It turns into Vince McMahon, Steve. It's crazy.
Now pick him up.
Happened in the 90s.
Clarence Williams III, dude. Like,
legend.
Yes.
Cemented. One of the most, like, iconic to me, ugly actors of all time, Steve. He's got Clint Howard's looks, but he's got a voice of an angel.
And a fro.
Yeah, Don King special, basically.
Not Don King, maybe Don Cornelius.
Okay.
Like 70s Don Cornelius. But his intensity is unparalleled, man. He was initially known as the original Link. He was in a TV version of a movie that actually came out on the day we're discussing. He was the original Link in Mod Squad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that explains all like the dapper looking photos of him from like in the 70s with a fro.
Yeah.
Looking cool as hell, honestly.
From the late 60s to the early 70s, man. And I first knew about Clarence Williams III from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, where he plays like this black militant guy, and come to find out he's got a white wife and mixed kids.
Okay, that's awesome. I love that. My first taste of him was probably Tales from the Hood.
Oh, yes.
For sure. I mean, it was either that or Half Baked. And then I saw him again. I didn't realize like the iconicness of him. But I mean, dude, he was in Tales from the Hood. He was in Half Baked, as we know, as Samson Simpson, one of the most iconic weed movie characters, at least. Deep Cover. What I always remember him playing is like a shady guy of some kind. Or like a loose cannon almost, like somebody who's a little wild. Like in the movie we're going to talk about, he's like the chaos to Samuel L's, more subdued political prisoner.
Yin and yang. Loose cannon is his wheelhouse, because I don't know if you've seen Sugar Hill, where he plays Wesley Snipes' heroin addicted father.
Yep.
He was over the top in that. He was also Bumpy Johnson, I forgot, in American Gangster.
Wasn't he in Hoodlum too? Yeah, he was. He was in that. And then once we get into like the late 90s, early aughts, it's a lot of guy in the background in like a military movie, or he was in Reindeer Games. I remember that. He was in a crappy Ben Affleck action movie, and he was like one of the henchmen dudes. But he was always the most memorable. He might not have been the like lead antagonist in most things, other than Half Baked maybe. But damn, do you remember every last line this guy's ever said, basically. I mean, we've quoted just one line of his in Tales from the Hood. I mean, in perpetuity since we've basically known each other.
Yes.
Yes. Shit.
One of the scariest things I've ever seen in a movie, because I think I was 12 at the time when I rented that on tape, wasn't prepared for that. He's like this calm old guy, kind of showing them around. And then by the end, he just turns into Satan.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, looking at those crazy eyes, though, I would have some suspicions. I'd be like, this guy ain't right. That movie also famously made me scared of David Alan Grier as well, which is something that you don't really get a lot of.
He was evil. That was a change of pace for him. And then, like you said, man, the quotables in Half Baked.
This is Samson, smarty pants. Shut up, bitch.
Yes. Cuban B.
Yeah. Give me G13. Even that, Steve. Even that. Oh. Delilah. I mean, I would talk like that guy, honestly.
Everything you say, just amp it up times 10.
Give me a Big Mac. Supersize it. Yes.
Sweet and sour packs.
Yes. The nuggets.
The Shamrock Shake. And He also played Prince's dad in Purple Rain. So he's been a part of some prolific productions.
Plus, I just feel like he's like somebody that actors know, like he's a badass. That's why he was in Half Baked. They could have chose anyone. They chose that guy because he's a legit legend. And then obviously, dude, even in life, there's so many stars in that movie. I even remember him in that shit. I don't really forget him, but he's not a huge part of it. But you still remember him in a movie with Eddie and Martin in it. So
Bernie Mac. There's just so many people.
And then I don't really know what he was doing near the end. I'm seeing him on a lot of TV, which I love. And I mean, he was working right up until like 2018. And yeah, dude, this guy's a huge part of my childhood and a huge part of my quoting library because I like to throw a little Clarence Williams III in whenever I get a chance. So how long did he make it? Because to me, Clarence Williams always looked 95.
81 years old.
Damn, this dude. Hell yeah. I love seeing these, like one where he's not a lunatic in it. Like he's obviously playing like a cop or something. He just stand up dude, Clarence Williams III. Rest in peace, man. Ah, yes. Happened in the 90s. Yes.
This is Steve G and Matt G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your hammer pants and your Pantera. Cause when I step up in the place, yo, I step correct. Woo-ha! Got you all in check. I got that head nod shit to make you break your neck. Woo-ha! Got you all in check.
Nah, 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 nah.
Well, today, my friend, we're talking all things March 26th in the 90s. Yaw, 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 yaw. Starting off in 1991. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze original motion picture soundtrack is released.
Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go, 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 go. Ninja, ninja, rap. Rap. I mean, I forgot they used an MC Hammer song in the first movie, so I like that in the 1 and 2 soundtrack, we're getting some hip-hop pop stars in each one. We get both heavy hitters in each album, Steve. And I mean, this is an iconic scene in Ninja Turtles, too. You can say what you want, but seeing Ninja Turtles whoop the Foot Clan's ass to a Vanilla Ice song,
dude,
while that one guy's like, man, these costumes!
In the theater, like watching this, when I saw Vanilla Ice in it, dude, I was on some Ice Baby in 91,
Hell
man.
Yeah,
so
dude.
like,
this was and he's in it. Like you're just seeing it. And they're interacting with Vanilla Ice, which was even cooler, Steve. Look at him. Look at Vanilla Ice behind you. Hey, man, that's some turtles.
Yeah, dude, this is peak Robert Van Winkle, man. And I don't know if you remember, there was a turtle cereal, and one of the prizes was like a flip book. I don't even think this is a thing for kids anymore, but at the time, the flip books were so cool. You could do like cell by cell. You just flip the book and it does the thing. And this scene was one of those books. And I just flipped. Yeah. Like I think it was.
Oh, I need to find. I might even have that, Steve. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, it was like a little mini flip book they would have at the bottom of the turtle cereal. And I think it was like one of the turtles breakdancing or something, like spinning on this shell. It was something like that where they were doing like a dance routine. So cool, man.
I mean, that scene to me was just the epitome of cool back in the day. And we got Super Shredder in that. We got Keno in that scene and Vanilla Ice all in one little package. Love it. Now, if we're talking about the soundtrack specifically, Steve, that's really it. That's what's bringing me to the party, and that's where I'm leaving the party, to be honest with you. But what do you expect?
Yeah, that's it. But in 1994, Duckman is airing Season 1, Episode 4, Psyche. Feeling inadequate, Duckman gets a bill job, leading to other problems.
I didn't appreciate this as much. This was like a get to something tawdry on TV late at night. I never really appreciated Duckman for what it really was, but man, this show is weird, and I gotta be honest, Jason Alexander killing it in this role.
Well, you know, I think it's just Jason Alexander in general. I didn't appreciate anything Jason Alexander growing up, but like now, as a 40 plus, everything he does, he's got the Midas touch.
Yeah. And just the energy he has is like a Costanza when he freaks out. That's just kind of how I feel all the time. So It's like satisfying to watch and hear in this case. But yeah, loving it as always. Love the theme song. I just love the look of the cartoon too. It's not disgusting like Ren and Snippy, but there's some weirdness to it. And I can't, other than just to say that, I can't really describe it.
Dr. Katsish in a way. Not
everything's ugly too. Everything's kind of like ugly and weird looking. I don't know. I just enjoy it. And in this one, we start off in the office, and Duckman is just kind of reading some smut, Steve.
Who reads smut?
Yeah, the dear whatever letters, whatever. He's into it. He likes smut. He's got a whole closet full of it. But Cornfed's like, he's kind of like you, Steve. He's like, who's reading this? Duckman's just kind of feeling inadequate. He just hasn't really been doing much since his wife Beatrice died. He's been kind of in a rut, So a lot of smut, a lot of jack-a-lackin'. Cornfed kind of feels bad for him, but is pointing out all this. Things aren't really going the way Duckman wants it to go. He's a mid-level quack detective or whatever. Not doing too well. Family hates him. Ignored by women. It's bad.
Cornfed sees the article sent to this smut magazine, and it's somebody requesting advice in this column. It's like, I've started collecting nudie magazines, nude volleyball videos, inflatable meter maid dolls, any advice. And then Cornfed kind of like guilt shames him. And he's like, only a loser would fill out something like this and request some advice. They also mentioned middle-aged duck detective. It's like, there's a million middle-aged duck detectives. And then an inflatable meter maid doll falls on top of Cornfed.
It's kind of like a dominatrix. It's got like a little like modulated voice too, where I think Duckman likes to be dominated a little bit. We'll get to it. But Duckman takes like a rod to the face and all this, which leads to him getting what's known in the medical profession as sphincter face, Steve. I've seen it 1,000 times. You take a shot to the face turns into a butthole. And that's kind of what he's working with. And he goes to what I believe is like one of the most scummiest plastic surgeons in the city he lives in. And this guy is so plastic surgery. He's not just a doctor. He's a patient, Steve, because he's got his face tightened up to the point where he's tying skin behind his head. It looks like I wouldn't go to him. I'll be honest. I'm not liking it.
I find it funny that they ask some restaurant that doubles as an insurance agency, like, is this guy covered? They're like, no. So he gets thrown out immediately because that's how doctors' offices are. No insurance, F you.
I mean, really? Like, how much do you got? Okay. That you need to go to the HMO place that's in the dump down the street, but it's tough. Also, the surgeon's kind of bringing up like the size of his bill, like, and what I mean his nose. He's like, it's kind of small. Duckman takes that a little personally, Steve. He's like, it's not the size of the bill, bro. It's the motion of the ocean, dude.
That's how you work it. He does get that bill job. So when he returns to the office, Fluffy and Uranus, they don't even pick out what the change is. Like, did you lose your weight? Did you comb your hair? No, I got a bill job.
Look at this thing. I mean, it's voluptuous, Steve. It's got angles. It's huge. Looks like a Magnum. And it is the Magnum. I think he got the Magnum is what the doctor called it.
The Magnum XL?
Exactly. The gold package. So he comes in, corn-fed. Nobody's noticing, giving him any credit. No respect, Steve. Classic Rodney Dangerfield syndrome. Duckman's kind of in his feelings, but in this conversation he has with corn-fed, we find out this mild-mannered pig detective coming up a virgin, Steve. He can't close the deal.
So middle school to basically ridicule Cornfed for being a virgin. Hi, you virgin. But it's like, at least Cornfed's not lying on his dick. You remember that age? I want to say it was probably middle school to maybe going into college where you never got laid, but you want to like, yeah, man, you don't even feel right saying it because you know you're lying. So you allude to it like, yeah, man, the thing, we went to Mr. Freeze and got a milkshake. That's what we got. But shout out to Cornfed for at least keeping it real, not lying on his dick. Kids never lie on your dick.
Yeah, it's, you don't have to. It's obvious when you do. because it comes off like 40-year-old virgin. We're like, yeah, it's like when you just grab a big bag of sand. It's dope. And everyone's like, what? Okay.
Because the person you're lying to might be lying on their dick too. Like, yeah, we get laid too, right? It's like everybody in here's lying.
Dude, I had 8 chicks at once one time, dude. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right. So both these guys not doing too well in the love department. But that might all turn around because as soon as they get done making fun of Cornfed being a virgin, 2 just voluptuous hotties walk in, Steve, as if they just like wished upon a star or something. These 2 just gorgeous cartoon women with banging bodies come in.
The Titty Twins. And they just so happen to be celibate. And they need someone to go out with them. We need someone who can appreciate us outside our looks and someone who could tell us how to change. And by the way, we're going to have a dick sucking contest and we needed some judges.
Yeah. We kind of just want you to first like follow us around and just see why guys just keep just like objectifying our bodies and our looks because we just want a regular guy. So, okay. They're in. They're a little surprised. And you know, at this moment, though, the girls got to go because they got to go give each other full body massages and just work the glutes specifically. So they're going to leave and blue ball the detectives. But I take the case, Steve.
Yeah, well, Duckman doesn't want to. Cornfed, the virgin, he's all here for it.
I need this, man.
Don't we all?
Cornfed's like, come on, dude. You got to. Because Duckman, obviously, he's in his feels, Steve. He's on the rebound. He's got a dead wife. The dick ain't working right, Steve. He needs one of the 50 ED meds that they're offering on TV now.
And he avows that we are not going on a date with these women. Very next scene, we're at the disastrous mini golf.
It's a mini golf. It's a good choice. I like it. It's nice and casual, but Cornfed had to just handcuff Duckman to him. But he ain't afraid once the twins show up, which I thought they had like burlap sacks on, but they're so hot and like shapely that it just looks fantastic, Steve.
They do have burlap sacks, but then the hose sets off and it shrinks their burlap sacks and it just like it becomes a form-fitting dress.
Yeah, with like a little tie on and stuff. But yeah, so the twins, the only problem you're having with these ladies, popping a boner.
Yeah. I like this little mini golf course. It's like an Exxon Valdez. We need to make this a thing. I would totally go to Exxon Valdez mini golf.
I just want to go to a mini golf that's like what you see in Hollywood movies or cartoons, like the Happy Gilmore mini golf or, you know, something where they take like a funny take on it. Like it's the Titanic sinking and you have to shoot a ball through it or something. And especially if you're going with 2 Playboy playmates in skin tight wet clothing. That's got to be pretty awesome, too.
But Duckman, he's just out of it. He's not feeling it, and he just runs off. The next day, we find out that Cornfed, he stuck around, and he went back to their house, and they played Twister. He lost.
Damn. But, you know, he's got to actually leave the office again because the twins are going to go test out some new equipment to wash their car in skin tight Daisy Dukes, and he's got to go help make sure those Daisy Dukes don't pop off or whatever happens in that kind of situation. So Duckman just not feeling it, man. He doesn't care about the ladies. He needs to go inside himself and not in that way.
He has the bill, but there's still something missing. He doesn't have that sex appeal that he needs. So he comes across this billboard for Mistress Nina. She's the person that can snap you into it.
Yeah, like a Slim Jim, Steve. She will slap and tickle you all the way to good mental health because she's a dominatrix and a therapist, Steve. She'll do it all. She'll slap your ass and exactly, and she'll figure out your mommy issues. So this is right up Duckman's alley. A crazy white bitch that's going to tell me what to do. I love this.
Now Duckman, he goes into his psyche, and it's basically a wasteland. He sees the girls, the Titty Twins, on a bed, but when he runs to them, they disappear. They were just a mirage.
Yeah, and they tell him that it's a lack of confidence issue because essentially what happened was he got hypnotized by this dominatrix. He's roaming his psyche, which, like you said, is is some sort of apocalyptic wasteland. So the twins, they're a mystery. But then there's all these other doors. There's the fear door. So he opens that. And in the fear door is just Ajax in a dark room saying that he's going to take care of him when he gets old. Like, no! And then in the confidence room, there's an old woman in a chair, kind of Psycho style, where you can't even really see her, but she's just basically telling Duckman, like, he's a piece of shit. And when I say Duckman, there's a puny version of Duckman, like in the corner of this room, that I guess is his confidence. It's not looking good, Steve.
And the confidence says that guilt has been beating me to shame, has been beating me to death. Well, guilt? What's that? And then the old lady turns around and she said, I'm your guilt. Yeah.
It turns into Vince McMahon, Steve. It's crazy. No, it turns into like a fire-breathing dragon, kind of.
Which is
and that's
scary.
A guilt monster. It's scary. So the monster's there. His confidence is nothing. So he's no help. He's just this puny little twerp in the corner that's chained to something. I don't know. So then all of a sudden, Duckman's dead ex-wife Beatrice shows up. I think this might be the first time we've seen her. I don't know. She helps him to confront his guilt, Steve. She actually saw Duckman for what he was. A good man.
Did you lose weight? Well, I am dead.
He hasn't had anybody since Beatrice died. And we also find out that he actually kind of had a hand in Beatrice dying. He made a mistake that led to Beatrice dying, but she has no ill will. She's like, I just want you to be happy, Duckman, because you're the shit.
She reminds him of that because I liked you better before. You didn't need a bill job. You already were confident the way you already were. And now at this point, the confidence, the little puny confidence in the corner, it hulks up and he's ready for some action. He throws the bill, this new $500 bill copay.
Yeah.
Into the dragon's chest, slaying the dragon.
He slayed the dragon, Steve. That's a heavy bill. That's the gold level. That's the magnum. You don't want to just keep throwing that around. But Duckman's out of a new nose. Beatrice fades away because she's done her job, Steve. She can go back to the afterlife.
Beatrice.
Yes, Beatrice. Now Duckman's completely confronted himself internally, and he has a clearer understanding of who he is as a duck detective, as a man. And it also shows me that this dominatrix therapy lady, Steve, this might actually be a way to treat people. This is how you do it. You can't lead them to water. You got to spank them to get them there. Am I right? Am I right, Steve?
Is that really why people go to dominatrix?
I don't know. I think people go to dominatrix because they miss having their mommy tell them what to do. I think that's really what it is. Or they like having stuff shoved up their butt or the pee-pee holes or something. I don't know. I've never been to one. It scares me. But Duckman, he's all about it. And it actually helped him. So comes back to his office. There's a letter from the twins, Steve. Those voluptuous ladies that he's been avoiding. And it turns out that all this disinterest that he's been showing them has done what we've seen many assholes do to many confused women or men, in that it makes them attracted to him. They want to go out with him, not corn-fed. He's too nice of a guy. They want to know what's up with this asshole duck.
He's mysterious. He seems dangerous. He turned us down. So they invite him to a ski resort, and they're already geared up to go.
They show up. They kick in the door ready to take him, and he's like, okay. But then we cut to the guilt monster, Steve, who we thought was dead. Eyes open. He's getting a little guilty again, Steve. It's not fully cured yet.
Also in 1994, Walker, Texas Ranger is airing Season 2, Episode 18, Deadly Vision. Trivette leads the investigation when a little girl is kidnapped. The mother relies on a psychic, so Trivette must work with the psychic. It seems the psychic does have the ability to sense things, and together they find the girl.
Man, I love this episode, Steven. Timely. We lost a legend this week. We lost Chuck Norris, I think yesterday or the day before recording this.
Yeah.
So rest in peace to one of the big, if not the biggest badass cultural legend, Texas Ranger, apparently, too, Chuck Norris. So rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to Trivette and to, I'm assuming, CD. I think we've lost everybody, Steve. Everybody's gone now.
We lost the whole trifecta, man.
Damn. Scene 1, we're in Texas. We're seeing some fun family stuff. There's a young girl, Rebecca. She's at home with her mom. And her mom needs her to run to the store because this is the 90s, and you can send a young girl or boy to the store by themselves with no supervision. It's fine. Get your mom some smokes. Who knows? Yeah. But as she's going into the store, we see what I can only say is the dictionary definition of a pedophile, Steve, or a child predator. It's a perverted-looking man in a rape van with a box full of puppies.
All the boxes are checked.
Like, as any adult in the area, you got to call the cops immediately, but nobody is. He kind of creeps around some kid, maybe that had his parents with them. It's not going to work out. So he's just showing the kid some puppies, but he clocks Rebecca going in, and his pedophile senses are tingling, Steve.
It always bothers me when an actor looks like another actor. And all I got was Gary Busey / John Malkovich vibes. A very Aldi version of John Malkovich. It bothered me.
I'll find the actor. I can't remember who it is. It might be Treat Williams, who we see in something else in this week. It kind of looks like a cracked out Treat Williams. But regardless, pedophiles outside, scamming, scheming. Elsewhere, we see Walker and Trivette just doing a little surveillance mission, Steve. They're out there. And Trivette, he's the young dog. He ain't got no patience. And he don't like this bullshit just sitting around stuff. He wants to go kick some ass. And Walker's like, young blood, you got to just sit. If I was a sniper, we might be here for days.
Yeah, Trivette doesn't have time for that. I've noticed throughout this episode, Trivette does not have time for any of this shit. We cut back to the girl coming out the store. She sees the guy with the puppies, and he gives her one so she could pet. And as soon as she pets, he's like, yeah.
There's a store right there. There's people right there, Steve. But this guy, he just pulls his little girl in the van. We're into some human smuggling now, apparently. So there's a pedo out there. Amber alert. Yeah, so that happens. Then we cut back to Walker and Trivette. They're still on their surveillance. Right then and there, they see their target or whatever show up. And Walker does a little Doc Holliday action, Steve, because you know he's good with a pistol, too. And he's like, crack, crack, crack. Demolishes a gang by himself. He doesn't even really need Trivette, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he kind of does, because Trivette comes in. They're a good tag team. It's about as good as Legion of Doom. Because Trivette, he comes in and he whacks this guy upside the head with a 2x4. Jim Duggan would be proud.
He's pissed off from all that surveillance. He's just pent up. So he had to get something. But he's like, man, how'd you shoot his hand, his leg? You shot him in the ear. And right before credits, Chuck Norris is like, I hit him in the left ear? I was going for the right ear. That's a little Texas Rangers humor, Steve.
Are you feeling the intro, the credit song?
No, it's not as good. It's all right, but I like the OG, just that meow. There's the one where Chuck Norris is singing his fucking heart out, Steve.
It doesn't touch that one, but I'm saying like mid-90s Walker, it's just instrumental. I like, hey, it's very mid-90s. I'm here for it.
I mean, I'll take whatever I can get at this point. This is a hidden gem that when I was watching this with my grandmother, Steve, I was like, this is garbage. Now, as an adult, this is gold. It's freaking gold, Steve. So we cut from the credits. Trivette and Walker come into HQ. Basically, the police, Steve, in this town, they got nothing. A girl's been kidnapped, and the local cops, the local yokels, they got no leads. They don't know what they're doing, so they've come to the experts for help. They come to Walker, Steve, because that's what you got to do.
Yeah, Alex introduces them to the mom and this psychic, Meredith. Call me now.
It's in the cards. It's not. It's a different kind of psychic. It's not that one. But this lady, she had a vision. She had a vision, and they needed a ranger. I think the psychic also said that a cop's going to help the family, and his name has a C in it. And Walker's first name is Cordell, Steve. So we're all thinking, come to the right place, lady. I think this lady is psychic, but Walker's got to go, Steve. He's got a little mission in Austin. So Trivette's going to get this. And of course, like you said, Trivette's got no time for anything in this episode or in Dallas or wherever they're at, period. And he definitely doesn't have any time for a psychic, Steve. In
Looney Tunes. Yeah. Mother mercy. And Walker pulls Rebecca's mom to the side like, look, I don't want you being taken advantage of. You're distraught, and people like you in your shoes, you're an easy target. So all this psycho mumbo jumbo, tarot card, voodoo-ish, it's not suited for this.
I don't want you getting taken like that. But the lady's like, I'm telling you, she's good. She's good people. So Walker eventually is just like, all right, well, we're going to do whatever we can to help you. Because he's Walker, Steve. It's Cordell Walker the third, maybe. I don't know. But Trivette, he starts talking to the Meredith, the psychic. And he's basically just like, I got to buy an extra coffee because she's going to be of no use. And this is where we find out Walker, he's not going to be here. But Trivette, he's taught him everything. He taught him that sweet two-piece.
Mm-mm.
And a couple of detective moves that are going to do him well in this episode. So we cut the CDs. Love CDs, Steve. Love CD. Filet and fast food it for all I care. He's kind of like if Stone Cold Steve Austin just aged as a normal human being. I feel like that's what he would have been. CD.
Yeah. Let the psycho figure it out.
CD's like Obi-Wan Kenobi to these guys. So Trivette goes in. He's like, look, man, Walker just fucking fucked me. Want to hear this? I got to deal with Madame Tussaud or whatever. She's trying to tell me some shit. I just like CD's like, look, man, Walker's good people. He knows things. He's like, you just got to trust him. Okay, brother?
But Trivette tries to sell him on this case. Like, look, the psychic told us that the person who's going to help us solve this case, his name starts with a C. CD.
Yeah, because CD's like, well, Walker, yeah, his name's C. He's like, yeah, Walker ain't going to be here, but you are. CD. What does CD stand for, Steve?
Cardavius
Dialochus. It's something crazy. They're here, and now the psychics. Oh, I'm getting visions. Horses. Darkness. Intense light.
The horses, they're not alive.
Trivette's just like, bitch. This bitch talking about damn horses. You see what I'm talking about, CD? This crazy bitch.
So they're at the glue factory, bitch?
He says that. I love that. What, do they make it Jell-O? Jesus.
I ain't got time for this shit.
Yeah, but Alex, she's a professional cop. She's whatever she is, the DA or whatever. And she's like, look, I think this lady's onto something. Let's just stick with this. I got a good feeling. Everybody's got a good feeling about this psychic. I'd be with Trivette. Like, bitch, this is a fucking investigation. We don't need your weird mumbo jumbo shit.
She has tarot cards, okay? She's dressed like a folk singer. You gotta buy into this.
She has a shawl. She has beaded necklaces, okay? She's the real deal. All right? I think I saw her doing some shit with some chicken feet also out in the parking lot. I don't know. Some shit's going on. So, cut from CDs to another party, Steve. It's the carnival. Love a carnival. No, I don't. I hate carnivals. They're terrible. And what we see is this pedo guy who actually kind of looks like a carny. We shouldn't be surprised he's hanging out at a carnival.
Norval is his name, too. He's just awestruck. He's staring at this little girl. She's on that carousel. And then after the carousel ends, she gets carried off by her father. And he's just got to stiff it.
Is he like trying to plan the next one? I didn't get this part of it because he's got a new kidnappee just hanging out in the closet wherever he lives. I don't know where that's at, if it's at the carnival. Seems like he lives near the carnival. So he goes back because he's getting blue balls looking at this real dad. And he's like, I'm going to go hang out with my kidnapped kid. And he goes to hang out with Rebecca, and he's trying to get her to like him. She's like, I want to go home. I don't want to play checkers in this weird freaking jizz-smelling closet that you got. And I like that she completely dominates him in checkers, and he's like, this shit sucks. He flips the board on.
Now pick him up. He knocks the board off the table, and back at the precinct, they're drawing like a composite picture of him. using the psychic. She's got the vision of crime.
There was more pain in his eyes. I like that the sketch artist is like, oh yeah, let me put some pain on that.
Yeah. And while Trevette's at the computer, him and Alex, and they're going through names, trying to pinpoint who this guy is, like trying to check people's previous records.
It's the state pedo list. They're like, ugh, Gary Johnson. Ugh, I bet this is the guy. Nah, he's dead. Like, okay, check that name off the list.
And then Meredith, she walks over to where they're at, and she actually sees Norval's face on the screen, and it matches the drawing when it actually doesn't. It's
No.
nothing like Norval.
But Trivette's, he's like, oh my God. And they look up his address. They do their little detective shtick. And maybe Meredith has she's got the gift, Steve. She's got the shining. She can see into the nether realm. But then we cut back to Rebecca and the Perv. That's the new show on CBS, Rebecca and the Perv. 8 p.m.'s on Monday. Now Norval, he couldn't handle checkers. So he decides to set up a game of Monopoly, which if you're getting angry at games, I feel like Monopoly, this guy's on 10, Steve.
From my experience, most Monopoly games end just like that checkers game that he played.
Either that or you're just like, fuck it. We're done. It's been 8 hours. No one's going to buy any more hotels. So
yeah,
Rebecca, chill out, because Norval's about to go to Ultra 10 and possibly throw some fisticuffs.
I like how she pulled out a go to jail card. She was like, this is where you're going.
Shut up. Shut up. Why don't you shut up, Rebecca?
Are you some kind of weirdo?
What do you do? Don't you have any friends your own age? You're just like drilling this guy. So cut the CD and Trivette. And they're going to pay Norval a house call at this address that they looked up. Place is empty, Steve. Pedophile's been gone. Landlord, though, is like one of the best tenants I've ever had. Shit. I let him take my son to a game. It was cool, right? And I feel like maybe this son might need to talk to the cops too. Because Norval might have gotten something out of this kid too, because he looks a little scared, Steve.
Might have been goosed. But the Rockets are my favorite team. But the lady, the mom says, like, he's like an overgrown kid. We never take him serious. Might be a little slow, but now we see the psychic. She gets home. We are introduced to Hank, played by the legendary Bryan Cranston, though.
Walter White, dude. He's
White?
there, Steve, and he's got one of the first laptops. And Meredith the psychic, I keep saying this throughout the episode. If you're a psychic, you're not expecting this.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, where are you? What? So Brian, apparently they have some romance. They broke up. This guy's like, look, I'm back. I can help you out with this whole thing. And what we find out, Steve, is Bryan Cranston's kind of like, well, he's a leech. He's a manager. And he wants to manage Meredith because he sees something else in her. That's not just that fat ass. He wants to get into that cash too, Steve.
He hatches a plan and he's like, hey, meet me outside the courthouse. It's a surprise.
We get married? You should know. You're a psychic.
Right. Nothing should be a surprise for Meredith, honestly. But like now Trivette, he's trying to track down Ronnie Glass, who used to be Norval's cellmate. And before Trivette even says anything, Ronnie just runs off. He runs through the car wash, and he's a slow runner because he had enough of a head start. But Trivette goes through the car wash and tackles him onto the hood of a car.
I mean, he played for the Cowboys, Steve. You're outrunning an athletic legend here. But Trivette gets him. Ronnie Glass, which that's a great gangster name. I love that. Seems more of like an Italian name. But Ronnie Glass, he's like, man, I just run when I see cops, and they're questioning him. And he's like, dude, Norval, that guy was a scumbag. That guy's a straight up whack job. And they're like, well, do you ever communicate with him? He's like, no, that guy just hangs out with kids all the time. Why am I hanging out with that
dude? he goes to the arcade in the zoo where he probably should be.
Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, it's everywhere, guys. He goes to Gap Kids and sits outside of the fucking dressing room.
Major Magic.
Yeah, exactly. Discovery Zone, whatever. But Trivette's like, look, I got all these files on this Norval dude. I need one piece of information. This thing's telling me that when this guy gets cornered, he gets violent. Is that true? The guy's like, shit, I don't know. I saw him whoop the shit out of a kid once.
That's all I know, dude.
I mean, that's all I know. You know, they got something here. Norval, he's a pervert. And I think we already knew that. He was on a list. You know, I don't really think we learned anything new here. Cut to the courthouse. Meredith and Walter White are approaching, and it turns out, like you said, Walter White set up a little impromptu PR sesh where he's lined up interviews with the local press to just sort of shed light on the fact that Meredith is the local psychic in the mix trying to save this case, Steve, because these cops, they're not capable. Okay?
He looks at it as free promo. Hey, y'all want y'all tarots read? This holla at her. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want y'all's future present? Y'all want to talk to the dead, your missed loved ones? Yo, get at my girl.
1-800-MEREDITH. All day, all night. Here's the thing, though, Steve. Trivette, he ain't having it. CD ain't having it. You're impeding on an investigation. So they mess up the promos. You know, Trivette's putting his hand over the thing. I like how they shoo Bryan Cranston away. He's like, you got to get out of here. And CD's like, get
a stray dog in his backyard.
Get
Get now.
Getting out of here. Sounds like he's from New Orleans. Meredith's like, I'm so sorry. The guy just, he blows my back out, but he is not a good businessman. So I'm sorry about that.
He's not a good person, but he could slang.
You'd be surprised. You know, Trivette, they're not concerned that this psychic didn't know any of this was going on, but they need to get her home, right? So they're taking her home. And she's like kind of having visions and stuff, but kind of feeling like shitty about everything. As they're like driving, she's like, oh, it's so close. Stop the car. So they stop, and literally, you turn your head right, Steve. There's an armed robbery going on in a convenience store. So this bitch can smell crime, basically.
They go into the store. These robbers are overzealous because they just go to every aisle just blasting.
Well, the thing of it is, Steve, Trivette and CD have set up some sort of weird grocery cart trap where they have identical carts ready to go down these aisles just for a diversion, Steve. But after I think the third cart gets shot up, Trivette just shows up and just whoops that ass. And CD even gets a 1-2 in. But his old ass, he's like, it's been a while.
Broke his hand. And now they go back to the car. And Meredith, she's just fixed on this merry-go-round outside the store.
So there's music, video games, Twinkies. Oh, okay. It's Louis Anderson's house. I'm sorry. I'm tuning into the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. So then we cut back to Norval. And Norval and Rebecca, now, this guy's got games on games, Steve, because now he said, fuck the board games. We're going to Street Fighter, bitch. Pick up a controller.
Dude,
and he's whooping that ass, to be honest. She just doesn't like it, Steve. She's like, this is boring. Can we do something fun? You got any Coke?
I hate it here. Don't say things like that. On TV, he sees this news report with Meredith, the same one that she did with Hank, about the kidnapping. So now he knows that they're on to him.
I'll get you, bitch.
So he hog-ties the girl.
Lay down, bitch. Hold on. So then we cut back to Trivette and the psychic, and Trivette finally gets Meredith home after stopping at 8 armed robberies on the way. As they're approaching the door, it's ajar, Steve. The door, something's going on. So Trivette goes in, and when they get inside, Cranston laid out on the floor. Is he dead?
Yeah, he's
I think
done.
he got killed. I think he got off. So Norval, he's on a murder spree. He knows where to go. And Norval even left a nice little fun little message on the computer that's like, leave me alone or something. Like, dude, I think the cops are going to be able to track you down now. There's fucking fingerprints everywhere.
He even left a little yo-yo.
You can't play with my yo-yo.
Don't try to play me out. But the medics, they come to pick up Hank. But Meredith, she's just out now. They tell her, like, no, dude, you can't quit. Trivette's all sold now. Like, you helped us get those robbers. You know some things. I feel like you're on to something now.
What number am I thinking? 7? No, you were close. Anyway, you got powers, girl.
Yeah.
I can see it in you. So then, obviously, we got to get Chuck Norris in here a little bit. So Walker calls in just to throw a check in. He's heard about all this stuff. He knew about this case, and he's run a check on Norval. He's finding a couple other cases in the area that kind of match his MO, which is kidnapping young kids and killing them. So I guess, if it's happened in Texas, Norval's the guy, Steve. And now Walker's in on it, too. It's only a matter of time. This pedo's going down, Steve.
He orders Trivette to take her to his ranch, and she meets the Native American, if you will. And she tells him, like, you have an amazing aura, bright colors, pink and orange.
Bitch, you are stupid like child. Fun fact about the show, Steve, this is the last appearance of Red Crow, which is the name of this character. But I like him because I was like, man, they're gonna make this Native American guy be like, she has the gift. But he like kind of talks to her. He's like, nah, like you're getting all these voices, these spirits are talking to you, and now you're charging people because you can hear it. That's fucked up. And he just kind of like walks away. I was like, oh yeah, Red Crow.
And now Meredith, she has her doubts. One time she dreamt her parents died, and a week later it actually happened.
Yeah, well, and she's like, it's crazy because I shot him. So I guess I was like a premeditated thing, but whatever. Statute of limitations. But Trivette, he believes and he wants her to go to the cards, Steve. Check the cards. What do they say?
They read death.
Yeah. She pulls the one card. He's like, what does that mean? It's like, bitch, that's a death card. I think we all know what that means. I never did tarot once.
Something that I found, like, I guess, morbid. Trivette says that everyone has that in their future, though, right? And the fact that all three of those main guys are gone.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I never even thought of that. I was like, yeah, that's true. That's some good old man logic. But, yeah, man. Especially with the passing of Chuck. That's a guy who was so powerful and tough that we made a meme of him in the early aughts, late 90s. He could, he couldn't be stopped. He had a resurgence. In fact, I think he was more famous
from the memes.
From the memes than he ever was for anything else. Obviously respect that he was in a lot of martial arts movies, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so this case, Steve, we got to get a breakthrough, and we're about to get that. So we see Norval. He's tailing CDs, Steve. He's tailing the team, and he's got his rape van. Again, psychic lady, cops, there's a rape van tailing you, okay? Like, let's check that out.
Right? But she tells him that she's scared. The girl's very scared, but she's safe, and she's sure of that. And then she sees a toy carousel in the girl's room. So she takes the toy with her. And now she senses something. Now that she's outside and she just feels it, but she can't pinpoint where it's coming from. But Norval, he's got his gun ready to aim and shoot.
I mean, this motherfucker has a sniper rifle in his van. He's got a whole weapons arsenal in here, and he's got it out. So he's in there zeroing in, and right at the last second, her psychic powers fully kick in. She's like, oh my God. Even though he's like right there. I mean, she was looking at him basically. But Trivette pulls a Texas Ranger two-step, gets in the mix, gets her on the ground, but she takes a bullet, Steve. Norval got her in the shoulder.
Yeah.
But it's okay, man. It's all right. But Norval ready to go. This is a pedophile who's willing to take it to the next level, Steve. And yeah, I'm scared at this point. This guy's got a sniper rifle. He's got all the video games. So I don't know. Is he cool? Is he not?
They do know, though, that it keeps coming back to horses and music and horses.
Where's the connection? Finkel and Einhorn and Finkel. And then they're like, wait, horses. What if it's the carnival? Lights, horses, singing. It's either that or some sort of rodeo situation or line dancing club. And Lord knows we got a lot of those in Texas. But now they're on the scent. Dog's got a scent, Steve. I smell some pedophiles. CD's like, I smell pedophile.
Now Norval and Rebecca, they're at the carousel, and then he yokes Rebecca up.
Yeah. Again, this pedophile does, like, he's cognizant he's on the run and people are looking for him, but he's not, like, shy about just today. Let's go on a carnival ride real quick.
Just
kidnap victim, and she's like, "This sucks," and he's like, "Fucking shut up!" and like causes a scene in front of everybody, and he makes sure to get her back in his little jizz den, tied up, and he goes out to sort of like scope out the situation. He knows they're there, but is that enough? Because you ain't gonna get to drop on CD and Trivette.
and CD and Trivette, they show up to the carousel and they see nothing. But Norval, he sees them from the parking lot. He goes into his van and he quietly gets away. Now, back at Rebecca's house, the mom, she's with an officer. I guess he's going to be on the lookout, kind of like her watchdog in a way. And he hears a sound. So he gets his gun prepared and he makes it over to where that sound's coming from. And we cut back to Trivette and CD. They find the girl.
Yeah, because Meredith was like, okay, I got a whole beat on this. So they find her. She's okay. But then we cut back to the house, Steve. And also, I think they call Walker at this point, too, and they tell him to go to mom's. Rebecca's mom's like, Officer Doolittle, where are you at? Like, this is suspicious. And then, again, Norval's like some kind of like Splinter Cell guy because he's like the silent killer. She goes into the kitchen and cop's dead or knocked out. I can't tell in the show. There's no blood, but I feel like Norval's got 2 bodies on the count in this episode, Steve. More if you count the dead kids on his record.
Yeah, he's horrible at checkers, but he can play some 4D chess on some murder.
Yeah, he really just doesn't understand board games, Steve, and that's the thing.
That's his weakness. Yeah,
that's how you get to him. But so the mom's like, "Oh shit!" And then Norval comes up, shows himself. He's got the tool. You know, Steve, now that we know Walker's on this case, it's only a matter of time. And right when we think Norval's about to kill the mom and cement his fatherdom to Rebecca, Walker Kool-Aid Man's into the house straight up through a window.
Yeah.
And I mean, after that, I was like, when's the roundhouse kick to the face? Because that's all it's going to be, Steve. It's like sweet chin music.
Yes. You want the shit? Yeah. I want to give you the shit.
Yes, Norval. And that's what happens, Steve. Norval tries to go toe-to-toe with the legend, takes a couple shots to the face, and then it's, like I said, sweet chin music, he's down. It's over with.
Hey, Mr. Cordell, sir, thank you for saving my life, but State Farm doesn't cover this. How the hell am I going to get this window back together?
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to need at least like a garbage bag. Can you guys help me out?
At least.
It's kind of
thank
nice
you, though.
having this dumb little girl around. Like, oh, God, let's call CPS. They've saved the day, Steven. Maybe supernatural powers exist because Meredith, she did help out. So we cut back to CDs. Meredith is giving CD sort of like the idiot's guide to the spirit realm. She's showing him cards. But this is a Texas good old boy, Steve. He's like, I don't like any of this shit.
It ain't natural.
It's damn disrespectful to Jesus, okay? But Trivette's like, look, man, she's been telling me some stuff. Check this out. And he does his little tarot card read. I love this because it's a callback to Phil Hartman's Damn from News Radio last week. But Trivette pulls this card out and CD takes it and he's like, hell, this looks like you, Cordell. And he hands it to Walker. And I didn't see it looked like Walker, Steve.
No,
I didn't really see it, but Walker's like, damn.
This is after Alex asked, like, do you know what my husband is?
That's what the question was.
On that same day in 1994, Against the Wall premieres on HBO. It's based on the true story of the Attica prison uprising of 1971, directed by John Frankenheimer, starring Kyle MacLachlan and Samuel L. Jackson. I
never saw this movie. I didn't know about it, Steve. Terrifying to watch because just seeing like men on the edge of being ripped apart many times in this, I was like, damn, dude. If you were a cop that got stuck in the mix of this, like if you were Kyle MacLachlan, I would be pissing my pants.
And he was a very scared man. I mean, this is my first time seeing it too. HBO, they really got it right, especially in the 90s with these made-for-TV movies, man. And I mean, they were able to get Samuel L. just before Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. And it's just pulled off well. I've been using the word gritty a lot, but like it's dirty. Both. Yeah, it's crazy. We also get Danny Trejo in this, a very young Danny Trejo, which I love to see, where he's still handsome. You know,
very short. I did like because in the first scene, I think they're in the shower. It's like, man, the dude is hovering over him, and I had to look it up. The man is only 5'6".
Yeah, he's not a large man. He's intimidating. He's spiritually large, though, Steve. He's intimidating from the inside out. But
Man,
it's full of legends. Kyle MacLachlan, a couple of the guards I recognize, obviously Samuel L. and Clarence Williams. And that's what I think that was the most interesting thing, is that Samuel L. is like this sort of peaceful, I think they call him a political prisoner. And he's in there and this thing pops off. But Clarence Williams is like the Joker for a lot of this movie, where he's just like, fuck him up. When he stabs the guy in the cell, the guy's like, let me out, man. He's like, oh, yeah.
A shank. It's Malcolm and Martin. It's Professor X Magneto, the dynamic between Clarence Williams and Samuel L.
And Kyle MacLachlan's like the one good CO who kind of like treats the prisoners with like respect.
The Rook.
So, yeah, and he's like the nice guy. But when this pops off, he gets taken hostage along with all the other guards. Samuel L. is kind of like protecting him. This is a real thing. It's like these prisoners were getting mistreated, so everybody else is out for blood. They got all these guards out here. Every guard just getting like ripped and taken like into the back someplace to get their ass whooped. And like the way they pulled it off, I was like, fuck, man, I'm getting like anxiety over this shit.
It's crazy to think that this actually happened.
The way they were trying to do it was like, they got to like a negotiating table basically, where they're like, look, we need this, this, and this. And the warden guy that they get to talk to finally gets to the point, it's like, there's nothing else I can do. And they're like being surrounded by these guys with guns and stuff. And at like right where like it pops off, they think that they've gotten this victory because that like a helicopter shows up, and I think they think it's like the governor or like somebody to like kind of quell the situation. But then they just start dropping, which I never knew this existed, like big cans of gas, Steve, like tear gas, but not like shooting it. It was like a big freaking canister of gas that they were just dropping out of helicopters on them. And this negotiation just kind of turns into a bloodbath. I didn't think Attica ended in a complete like bloodbath like they showed here. I'm not really like familiar with that as much as I should be probably, but as far as a movie goes, I loved it. I thought Clarence Williams III was fucking fantastic in it. He was kind of why I kept watching it for a while. But by the end, I was like, dude, is Kyle MacLachlan going to make it out of this? Because like him and Samuel L. Jackson kind of have a pact that they're going to be there for each other. And if one gets out, the other has to get to the family and stuff. And spoiler alert, it doesn't go well for the black people. Let's put it like that. Samuel L. takes a bullet. Kyle MacLachlan takes a bullet. But Kyle MacLachlan gets to go home. Yeah. I think Samuel L. dies at the end of this. But he was great in it. I don't usually like prison movies that much, but this one was enjoyable. Fun to watch a movie. I've never even heard of this.
That following year, 1995, we would lose American rapper and producer Eazy-E, Mr. Eric Wright, at the age of 30.
And I'm gonna save money. And I'm gonna save money. It was a big deal, Steve. But I didn't really know too much about Eazy-E when it happened. I just knew it was like a big deal. And then obviously like the Bone Thugs song really got to me. But I wasn't like a huge like NWA fan at that age.
I was kind of an Eazy-E fan as a solo artist because he dropped that Dre disc, and I remember buying the single tape back when you can buy tapes of single. Oh, yeah. That is one of the greatest songs in my opinion. Not just greatest disc songs, but just everything about it. The beat, oh man. And one of my favorite verses from Eazy-E happened like not too long before he died on that first Bone Thugs album. For the love of money,
gotta get money, man. I actually have that on my playlist on YouTube. How young was he when he passed? It was AIDS, right?
30, and yeah, he passed for AIDS, and we still not fully educated on this disease, man. And like everybody quickly attributes it to you being gay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was usually the go-to, especially if you were like a famous person, people wanted to shit on you. But this guy was also partying constantly and stuff, so who knows? It's tragic. So shout out to Eazy-E, dude.
Man, R.I.P. to a legend. That following year, 1996, Busta Rhymes would release his debut solo album, The Coming. And the world would never be the same again.
Yeah, I mean, Woo-Ha was that shit, Steve. That had little fat 13-year-old me just pumped up.
This is what America needed. We needed some Busta Rhymes with some Hype Williams videos, man. And what I always loved about Busta Rhymes, he went against the grain. When everybody was doing shiny suits, he was still Busta Rhymes. When everybody wanted to be mafioso, Gambino, crime family, he was Busta Rhymes. The man was always in his own lane, man. And that's one of the things I've always appreciated about him.
And can do one hell of a show enough impersonation, Steve. That always endeared him to me even more than I already was. I was like, he obviously is just like us. He's got the same great taste. Busta Rhymes, one, solidified himself in the 90s anyway, but still around. Quite bigger than he used to be. But also a great actor, Steve. He gave us a lot of good acting turns too. But this album, it was everything, dude. I love Busta Rhymes. Also love that he's one of the few people that ever got to just like straight up curse at Michael Myers. Like, man, fuck you. He's great in Halloween H2O. I love that shit.
And his videos were always entertaining. They were different.
So
they
good.
weren't just him like filling up on a hot chick's ass or just being surrounded by beautiful ladies and, you know, doing the typical rap video stuff with, you know, guns and talking about how tough you are. He's just like, they were very cartoonish.
Fisheye lenses. I mean, the one that he did kind of get down with a chick was that Janet Jackson song.
Yeah.
But even that was like not the normal shit. They were turning into like Alex Mack goo and shit, you know?
Very artistic, man. On that same day in 96, Stone Temple Pilots would release Tiny Music, songs from the Vatican gift shop. Man, I love me some Scott Weiland.
He's up there, Steve. I didn't know there was like so much contention within this band. Thinking back, Stone Temple Pilots always came in like third or fourth to me because it was like Soundgarden and Alice in Chains. They're right here. Throw a little like Smashing Pumpkins later on. And I liked Stone Temple Pilots. And my buddy Matt Sparks loved Stone Temple Pilots. And I never fully embraced it. But Scott Weiland's got to be one of the greatest frontmen of all time. One of the most troubled frontmen as well. But rest in peace as well. This is a crazy episode, Steve. Thank God you're not drinking for every dead person we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about a decade, about 30 years ago. So that's bound to happen. But man, his whole swag, you know, it was low key Axl Rose-ish when he would perform. He would have like his little big bang, baby. That man, that dude is just swaggy with the alternative rock, grunge, whatever you want to call it, man. And, you know, some of the things that make us love a person is that person's detriment at the same time, because if it wasn't for the substances, maybe he wouldn't be as but it always still to this day looks cool to me, man.
I think that's like the textbook how you want, maybe not the exact dancing, but like that swag of just not giving a fuck. Because it was like that in the 90s and up at like when he was in Velvet Revolver or something like in the 2000s and stuff, like he never lost it. He just had so many substance abuse issues and like rehabs that he never was able to climb out of it, which is sad. But I mean, damn, dude. I mean, that's kind of the rock star ethos, right? That's kind of the thing. They're stuck in that world and like he just fully embraced it to the point of destruction.
And can't forget tripping on a hole in a paper heart. I live myself by myself and by myself.
That first one though, that's my favorite Stone Temple Pilots song. That might be like the most mainstream song, but
Big Bang Baby.
Yeah, I always dug that song. And like I think for me, the thing that brought me to that band more than any like Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, it wasn't just like the front man. I like the whole shebang. It was like, dude, Scott Weiland's a badass. And like I don't know. For me, it was always just sort of not my favorite band, but obviously they're one of the biggest of the 90s.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man, because it's like Scott Weiland and then the DeLeo brothers, the bassist and the guitarist, like they don't stand out as much as Smashing Pumpkins other guys. The bassist is a chick, the other guy is like a weird looking Asian dude, and the drummer is a heroin addict. It's like, man, I can buy into this. They're interesting. Same
Yeah.
thing with Alice and James. This guy, he's got the red hair, he's kind of got a different sound, and then the guitarist, they're doing a cappella together, they're singing and in harmony. I like this.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I think also the band suffered because they had to continually take hiatuses and stuff because Scott Weiland wasn't dependable and would constantly be in like rehabs. But I mean, again, it's tragic, but when you look at it from like the lens of like, man, that's a rock star, dude.
That following year, 1997, The Devil's Own premieres. A police officer uncovers the real identity of his house guest, an IRA terrorist in hiding. Directed by Alan J. Pakula, starring Harrison Ford, Brad Pitt, Margaret Collin, Ruben Blades, Treat Williams, and George Hearn.
Steve, I got to be honest with you. This is not what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
It's got everything you want. It's got Harrison Ford and Brad Pitt in it.
Treat Williams.
Treat Williams, acting hilarious too. Treat Williams in this is like the heavy tough at the end, especially when he's like, "You gonna fuck with me?" It's laughable. And
Yeah.
I honestly just was like, this movie doesn't make it's not. I don't know. It's like they didn't really have a story. There was a loose story, and when you read about it, that was the case. Like I think Brad Pitt's vocal, like they didn't finish this fucking script, dude. Like. We were working without a script, so they just basically were like, Brad, just be handsome, dude. And he had to go out there and be like, give me the gold. Where's me brother? It's just not good, dude.
Pink hearts and purple balloons and...
Even the end, it's like a kind of like crazy shootout. It's even boring at the end. It's just two guys getting shot, and it's like, oh, I got shot. It's like, okay, well, that's it. Looks like it's over with. And I was glad, Steve, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And on that note, we follow on to 1999 when EdTV premieres. A video store clerk agrees to have his life filmed by a camera crew for a television show. Directed by Ron Howard, starring Matthew McConaughey, Jenna Elfman, Woody Harrelson, Ellen DeGeneres, Sally Kirkland, Martin Landau, Rob Reiner, Dennis Hopper, Elizabeth Hurley, and Clint Howard. Damn, this episode's full of dead people.
Yeah, dude. I don't like this movie because unfortunately it has to be compared to The Truman Show.
Yeah.
So in that regard, it's never going to stand up. And I think everybody would agree to it. But what we do get in this is one, we get to see Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey together. I enjoy that.
Is this how it started?
I don't know. It's got to be. I feel like because it's super early. We get Ron Howard directing, so I'm not hating on that. I love a nice Ron Howard movie. But I don't know. There's got some funny stuff with Martin Landau in it. This is the Temu version of The Truman Show. You know, we get it. Reality TV is dumb. We get all that stuff. And I think there's some interesting things in it if you like think about it meta like that. But as far as the movie goes, unfortunately, guys, Jim Carrey just owned it. And you're never going to get credit for this.
You go up against James, you're always going to pale in comparison. Even with Elizabeth Hurley. R.I.P. to Rob Reiner and Dennis Hopper, but this was a hop of shit. It didn't make sense. I will give a shout out to basically them kind of predicting the future. This is currently where we're at, reality TV, where people think that like, oh, this person's on TV. There's this great, grandiose human being. Like, no, there's pieces of shit on TV. Most of the people in reality TV.
Well, even McConaughey's kind of, I mean, at one point he's just looking at his own ass on TV because they're filming it live. So, yeah. But again, like even that thing that you just said about this can be said even better with The Truman Show. Because, I mean, they pointed out the same shit. Different kind of reality TV. But the things that I thought were interesting about this were things I found out behind the scenes. So, one, any camera guy you see in this movie that's following McConaughey around, those are actual real camera guys that Ron Howard was like, I'm not going to hire an actor and teach him how to run a camera. I'm going to hire camera guys and teach them how to act. So like when they're cutting from the real movie shot to a TV shot, they're filming all that at one time. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I also thought the Clint Howard aspect of this was the best part of the movie, where he's just like making fun of this shit on TV in the van. That was the best. All ad-lib, by the way. Clint Howard had no script. He was just making it up off the cuff. And I thought that part of the movie was great. So,
what are the callbacks for this week?
I went to see Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, which is timely because we talked about the soundtrack, but they're actually released that in theaters. Got to see it. And I got to say, Steve, a lot of 90s love in the theater. We went on a Thursday. Okay? Thursday night, 8:30. Packed. I've gone to new movies, dead. But 90s love, people are taking their kids to see this movie, and I love it. So shout out to that. Go see it if you can. Ninja Turtles 2, like we talked about last week, it's the second best live action Ninja Turtles movie, but still love it. And I got a delicious slice of pizza after the movie because it made me so hungry, Steve. The beginning of that movie's pizza porn. So that's my shout out.
Well, I just want to give a shout out to a late great. We've already talked about him, Chuck Norris, man. And, you know, I've heard some things about his personal outlooks and opinions about things. And I want to gloss over that solely for the purpose of giving the man his flowers for his importance in pop culture world. He's an icon in movie and in television. He was one of the last remaining living people who had a fight scene with Bruce Lee.
Yeah, hell yeah. So now him and Bruce are up in the clouds just kicking each other's ass, Steve, sparring in the sky.
Yeah.
And fuck anybody who's got anything negative to say about Chuck Norris, because the guy was trying, not only was he a badass, fought Bruce Lee, came up with his own martial arts style. The guy he was a fitness legend. He was helping the kids, Steve. Yeah. And if we remember Conan O'Brien in his heyday, he had a funny Walker Texas Ranger button that even comedians love this guy. And I feel like Chuck Norris probably had a great sense of humor too. He was a little stiff on screen, but I feel like he loved that shit, Steve. All the memes, he loved it.
Delta Force FTW. But please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister, I thought I saw her selling autographs. Big Bang Baby is on. Check out Food Show Fanatics as well as Crushgasm every Wednesday with Kendra G, our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle, and Wrestling with Ronzilla on TikTok. This is Steve G and Matt G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the black kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
Can't touch this.